Hello everyone and welcome. Today's video is another edition of Unsung Heroes, a series where we talk about units that are underused, underappreciated, or just plain forgotten. Our subject this time is Seliph. Seliph is an infantry sword with 157 BST. Stat-wise, he's a lot like other slow infantry. 34 attack is okay, but 24 speed pushes him towards an enemy phase playstyle. Seliph has 30 defense and 22 res at neutral, which combined with his 47 base HP, gives him some respectable mixed bulk. Seliph's closest counterpart is Hinata. The two have similar stats overall, except Hinata has less base attack and res in exchange for much higher defense. Personally, I think Hinata's stats are better, but Seliph does have access to two different personal weapons. Those weapons are the Tyrfing and its upgraded form, the Divine Tyrfing. Default Tyrfing is not great. It has 16 might and grants Seliph a +4 bonus to defense whenever his health is below half. The Divine Tyrfing is much better. Res +3 plus a 50% damage reduction to the first hit of magic damage in combat. The rest of Seliph's skills are awful. HP +5 is practically a do-nothing, Rally Speed is only a stepping stone to a dual rally, and Brash Assault, while occasionally useful, works much better as a Sacred Seal to combo with Desperation. Basically, if you want to use Seliph, you'll be replacing his entire skill set most of the time. While the Divine Tyrfing is a good weapon, the refinable generic swords are stronger in practice. Slaying Edge, Woedao, and Armor Smasher are just so much more consistent, and thus useful, than even the Divine Tyrfing. The only time Divine Tyrfing really shines is if you give Seliph Distant Counter, but doing so means you don't have Steady Breath, the A skill that best utilizes his HP and defense. Seliph is a unit that wants to have it all, but is forced to give up something no matter what. That, if anything, is his major flaw. Now, all this sounds pretty negative, and to be honest, it mostly is. Seliph is a unit that has stiff competition, and he's almost completely outclassed by Hinata. But, like all unsung heroes, Seliph can be useful if you play to his strengths. In particular, Seliph is one of only a handful of common red units that can tank enemy mages and survive without compromising melee matchups. This is invaluable in arena or squad assault if you're running low on units. In a lot of ways, Seliph is kind of like a red Brave Ike, although that comparison is pushing it a bit because Irvin is a lot better than Seliph's weapons. Seliph's high base HP also makes him a great carrier of Infantry Pulse and Panic Ploy. Let's take a look at some builds. As always, these aren't necessarily optimal, but they're meant to show off what you can do if you put in the effort. First, we have Seliph's most stable set, a Guard QR build using Steady Breath. This set works on almost every melee unit in the game, and Seliph is no exception. Steady Breath gives defense and enemy phase special acceleration. Guard protects us from enemy specials, while QR lets us double despite having low speed. Divine Tyrfing takes the sting out of enemy mages, and it lets Seliph bait safely, even in multi-opponent scenarios. The extra res isn't huge, but it is helpful versus dragons, especially Myr and Grima. To be honest, the power of Steady Breath is kind of a problem. It's too non-interactive in my opinion, and too universal. Seliph isn't doing any of the actual work here, it's just the raw power of the SB-QR combo. But that's a different topic for maybe a different video. This build is a bit weirder and I think showcases what Seliph can do better. A Brash Desperation set using Brazen Attack Defense and Armor Smasher. When we compare Seliph to Hinata, Hinata has the edge in terms of enemy phase tanking ability. 6 more base defense is no joke after all. Seliph, however, does have a little more base attack, and to me, that means that he's ever so slightly better at running pseudo-player phase builds like Brash Assault Desperation. I'll admit that this niche is narrow, but it is a niche. The idea here is that we stack a bunch of attack buffs and use Seliph to kill armors in melee. He's tanky, so he can survive a hit from a lot of armored units, and once his buffs are online, he can player phase them down. Brazen and Attack Wave is a classic powerful combo, and all that bonus attack scales great with Armor Smasher's effective damage. Finally, this build is 100% cheese. By combining Steady Breath, the Woedao, and Quicken Pulse, Seliph can enable instant retaliation bonfires that hit really, really hard. The Odd Attack Wave and Wrath are just the icing on the cake, and help this set perform consistently instead of being a one-shot wonder. For what it's worth, this is another set that works on almost any melee unit. Seliph just has good stats for pre-charge bonfires. If you want Seliph to score well, this set isn't doing much for you, but if you just want to see him kill enemies with specials, consider giving something like this a shot. Overall, Seliph is an outdated unit, and there's sadly not much that can be done to fix that. He just has too many points spent on HP, and not enough on defense, attack, or speed. Fortunately, while Seliph is outclassed, he isn't useless. You just need to jump through more hoops than normal. Seliph strikes me as a unit that would be perfect for a new personal skill or special, just like how his father has Crusader's Ward. Personal ABCs for more units would go a long way to giving old characters a new lease on life, and I seriously hope IS considers it in the future. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. You can find me on Twitter at DireThunderYT, so feel free to send me cool stuff or just drop by to say hello. As always, I hope to see you next time. Take care.